Learn from your mistakes. That aside, forgive yourself for your mistakes and be humble by the way other people live, and have the open-mindedness to know that one is not better than the other. You are the engineer, you are the doctor, you are the bus driver, you are the face and brand of your life. So I have grown up and I have the belief that look at the person, not at the color the person is. Look at the person, not the language they speak. Love is universal. Start with you. You have to put in the work. It adds to you. It adds to the Fumi Desalu-Vold Inc. Incorporated. It adds to the Desalu-Vold family. You cannot lose because knowledge is power. Whatever you are, make sure that you are happy with it. Hence, sister to sister. Hello everybody, welcome back to Sister to Sister. Before I start, let me apologize for no episode last week Friday. As some of you will know, from my last episode, I had mentioned that I had technical problems in Thailand. My computer absolutely shut down and it was impossible for me to film Sister to Sister. So here I am, we're back in London. I've got a little bit of a cold. I think because I swam so much in Thailand and I've come back to wonderful, beautiful, but rainy London, I think it's caught up with me. So do excuse me if I sound funny. And so because we did not have a sister to sister last week, I have decided to skip the health and fitness and do a sister to sister for you guys this week because all of you mentioned it. I am so sorry guys, it was completely out of my control. And that is what we are talking about today. The power of surrender. That is this week's episode. Now, a lot of you will say, Fumi, wait 1 minute. You have just encouraged me to find my fighting spirit, and now you're telling me that I have to surrender everything. No, I am not saying that. Let us break it down first and foremost. What is power of surrender? Giving up control on anything, anyone, any situation that you have tried relentlessly to break through, and you keep on hitting one stumbling block one after the other. Let me give you a very, 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 very light version. You're looking for a bag, you're looking for a pen, you're looking for a wallet. You have turned the house upside down and you can't find it. After a while, you inhale, you exhale, and you give it up. 3-4 weeks further down, you're looking for something else. And you find, and in looking for that something else, you find the bag, you find the pen. Yeah. You're in a relationship. You have tried everything. Patience, endurance, you have given everything. And one day, something clicks. And you say no more. You say, you know what? I've had my fill. And you're prepared to walk away. Even the Lord up above cannot come down and convince you because you have given up to the power of surrender. You're done. And you know the beautiful thing about it is that it turns around and it frees and it empowers you. And so that person that was in the relationship all of a sudden starts coming, running after you. But you're done because you've had your fill. We will always, always have obstacles in our lives, always. Here is the thing. After you have done everything in your willpower Let nature take its course and leave it to the higher power and or God, and let it find its way to you. The only thing that we lose in life is what we cling to, because you're holding on to this gadget, you're holding on tight. But if you follow the trail, the cord, it's been unplugged from the wall ages ago. So you never really had it. You're just carrying it. You're carrying the weight. You're carrying the hope, the promise. Sometimes, in order for you to break through, you have to take yourself out of the way. Because you indirectly trying to force your way through, you are causing more obstacles than not. I'm going to give you an example. I hear you guys look up to me. Believe you me when I tell you, I look up to you. And many of us look up to Oprah. Let me tell you a story. 1983, Oprah was a host of a network, PM Chicago, I can't remember, N something Chicago, I can't remember, something like that. But she was in Chicago and she used to get the New York Times, and she always loved the Sunday New York Times because she loved to discover new books. And she discovered this Alice Walker book. Some of you are too young, so I'm going to go, I'm going to really break it down for you all. Alice Walker was the author of The Color Purple. I loved that book. My mother is a teacher, and at home she taught us literature, she taught us English, and she taught us, what was the third subject? My father taught us sciences, my mother taught us arts, and we read this book alongside African books, Things Fall Apart, No Longer at Ease. So I remember this book. Anyway, Oprah loved this Alice Walker Color Purple, and she ran out and bought every book that she could get her hands on, and she would give them out as gifts. Yeah? Okay. Couple of years further down the line, she heard from the grapevine that they were going to turn this book into a film. Oh, she jumped up and down on her knees and she said, God, please, 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 let me be in this film. I have to be in this film. You have to remember, Oprah had never acted in a feature film before. She had never acted in a film, in a television show, nothing. This was her first, and yet she had the confidence, she had the drive, the passion to pursue this. Of course, in her industry, she knew a lot of influential people, and he was the producer of Quincy Jones. He was the producer of Thriller. He was in Chicago at that time because Thriller, one of the songs, Billie Jean, was in dispute in the courts about one thing or the other. I don't remember the details exactly. But anyway, she had expressed her desire to be a part of this Color Purple. So Quincy said, no problem, 1 or 2 phone calls, and she went for the audition. She gave it her all. Waited 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 6 weeks, 2 months. She couldn't take it any longer. She called the casting director, and the casting director said, you don't call us, we call you. While we're on the subject, I have real actresses coming into audition, the likes of Afra, Woodard, and such. And she felt a sense of defeat. She had basically been told, you don't know anything about the film industry, 101, don't call us. And we're dealing with real actresses here. And in her room, she went to the mirror and saw herself. And she began to relive the conversation she had with Joan Rivers. And Joan Rivers had said, Oprah, why are you so fat? You're so fabulous. You have everything. Why are you so fat? And she had told Joan Rivers that she loved potato chips. And so as she looked into the mirror, she now saw in her mind and in her heart that the potato chips had caught up with her. Having promised Joan Rivers to lose 15 pounds, since then she had gained an extra 12. And in her room, she went to the mirror and saw herself. And she began to relive the conversation she had with Joan Rivers. And Joan Rivers had said, Oprah, why are you so fat? You're so fabulous. You have everything. Why are you so fat? And she had told Joan Rivers that she loved potato chips. And so as she looked into the mirror, she now saw in her mind and in her heart that the potato chips had caught up with her. Having promised Joan Rivers to lose 15 pounds, since then she had gained an extra 12. And she went to the fat farm. And she was saddened. And she had done everything. You can imagine Oprah Winfrey. She had her own show. She had great connections. And she had gone to the pinnacle to get this part. of The Color Purple. The character's name was Sophia. It's just coming to me now. And here she was. Nah, she couldn't get it. And she wept. And she wept. When she got to the fat farm, she was running around the track. And she said, God, please take this for me. Take this for me. Take this for me to the point where I can go and watch this film, Color Purple, and be happy for Afri Woodard and feel no bitterness. Please. And so she sang and she wept and she ran around this track. And the point came where she began to feel okay. That, you know what, I can feel good about myself. It's not the end of the world. Life will go on. And she surrendered this burden and gave it to the elements up above. It wasn't up to a quarter of a meter around when somebody came running with the phone. And it was Steven Spielberg telling her, I hear you're in a fat farm. Shrink. No, not really a fat farm, just health issues. He said, let me tell you, sunshine, you lose 1 pound and it might go against you for The Color Purple. She checked out, bought an ice cream on the way in case of the pound that she had lost. And of course, as we know, she was nominated for the Best Supporting Actor in The Color Purple. My story, and I've expressed it many a time. I had turned 39. No, that's not true. I was 39, and that year I was going to turn 40 in 4 months. It was January. My sister was pregnant with her second baby, and my brother had just had his second child. And here I wasn't dating anybody. January 2009. I looked into the mirror and I said to myself, is that a gray hair? Is that a gray hair? Yes, I did. I swear to God, the light somehow, flickered, and I saw light that translated to gray. And I said, Lord. And I looked into the mirror and I said, Lord, you know what? Maybe that is not my path. Maybe I am to do other things. I surrendered it and I was okay with myself. I was okay with me completely. I still loved me. I still loved me. I still adored me. I was still intact if I would never walk down the aisle. In 3 months, I met my husband, who in turn 4 months took me down the aisle. He wasn't gonna wait. He had to be married to me right away. I was very fabulous. So this is the point I'm trying to make. After you have done absolutely everything to pursue that job, to pursue that audition, to pursue that relationship, to pursue anything that really means everything to you, the power of surrender. Let nature take its course. Do not be discouraged. Do not feel that you have failed. There is absolute confidence and courage in leaving it to let it be, because sometimes we are in our own way, and that is so very true from a personal experience. And when we step aside and we focus on other things, it comes right back to us like a boomerang. And of course, I've said it many times before, when you pursue something, it's timing, it's preparation, it's being ready. What you want right now is not necessarily what you need right now. There's a difference. What you want is not exactly what is going to be given to you. Oh, I'm a good person. I always give this to this and whatever. Last time I checked, bad things don't only happen to people that do wrong. It happens to all of us. It's not because you have a long resume of good deeds. That is life. And you have to take it in good faith. That once you have tried and you have gone every single which way that you can in pursuit of this desire, of this passion, of whatever it may be, give it up to the power of surrender. Give it up. And let me tell you something. give it up sincerely in your heart. Because I don't know what it is. There's an energy that one oozes once you've let go. How many auditions have I gone to? How many? So anxious. I wanted to be this way. I wanted to be that way. I jumped into character. This. Honest to God, the ones that I got were the ones that I said, hey, I get it, I don't. Because there's only so much that you can push yourself. You don't want to be so obsessed that it maddens you and you are blind to everything else. And you are even blind to what you're pursuing. Because as you very well know, you can look and not see, and you can see and you're not really looking. And are you really pursuing it because you can't have it? Or are you really pursuing it because it is your everything? And if it is your everything, which we do not understand, is that when you want something, it is not that isolated thing that you work on. You work on a string of things that will ultimately lead you again to that pyramid, to that point. Because the point is here. But we are here and we're working on all of these things. Like a job, for example, you work on your education, you work on your resume, you work on the job criteria, you work on the companies, you work on the cities, you work on your experiences. Do you see what I mean? So you work on all of these factors that will ultimately lead you to the CEO one day of your own company. That is how it starts. So if you are pursuing a job with a company, and that company is not taking you, how many times have we heard further down the line, 5 years down the line, not only are you in that company, but you're a partner, giving it up to the power of surrender. It's a beautiful thing because it frees you, it humbles you, and it is not failure. I don't believe in failure. I don't believe in it. I wish that there was another word that would replace failure, because I think failure is almost saying, beat me down, beat me while I'm down. And that's not the case. You are down, like all of us are sometimes. But you do get up eventually. Why? Because like Oprah said, life goes on. And let me tell you something. Whatever is happening to you, don't say, why me? Oh my God, why me? Every single time it's me. It never happens to A, B, and C. Why? Because you have been given that fighting spirit. Because you have been blessed with that fighting spirit. And because of that spirit, you can fight. But there are many ways to fight. Not with guns and swords, but also with patience. Power of surrender will free you. It will free you, and it will allow nature to take its course and come right back by your side and give you what you have been struggling for so long. What will be. But we have to put ourselves in a mental, physical, and emotional position to handle and accept what will be. That is why this message is so important, because a lot of things that we desire, we have to take it in good faith that not everything that we desire we will get. And it's a bonus if it comes back to us. But you lose when you try to force it, because when push comes to shove, it is always out of our control. That's it, my loves. It's really simple and it's really straightforward, as complex as it is. Until the next fortnight, I love you so very much. It's wonderful to be back home in London. Love and kisses.